And ladies and gentlemen, I am Hugo Traverso. First of all, I got a new chair. I'm working on it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be diving into some topics today, ladies and gentlemen, on the podcast. A lot of things. Short time to do so let's move. First of all, we're going to be talking about everything that's been on the news. The untimely accident of not good. The accident that has taken Tiger Woods, his legs. It's not taking his life. He shattered his tibia and his fibula. He fractured both of his legs. He fractured his legs, shattered his ankle. It does not look like he's going to be playing golf for another 2 years, but hopefully that he can make a good recovery. And all my prayers go out to the Tiger Woods family and Tiger Woods' family, and to all of you guys, and to Tiger in the hospital. Have a good day, buddy, and don't worry. Just saying, ladies and gentlemen, eventually Tiger is doing well. Hopefully, I've heard he's doing well in the hospital. He was on a road that is naturally curvy, and the car was going fast over the speed limit, I believe. It was speeding, and he was wearing a seat belt, thank God, and that's what they say saved his life, was the seat belt, because when he rolled, he lost control of the car. The car then flew a couple hundred yards, and then started rolled a couple hundred yards, and then it ended up like nestling in these bushes, and they had to pull him out, and they could see that the airbags had been deployed, but they say that the seatbelt is the thing that saved him, because he was able to, he didn't fly forward, his head didn't fly forward, his body didn't fly out of the windshield, because if his body flew out of the windshield, he would have inevitably probably been thrown and been killed. He was in a Genesis SUV. I believe it was a car given to him by the people at the Genesis Invitational after he had marshaled the course. I heard that he was on his way to a photo shoot and playing golf. He was going to play golf with Justin Herbert and Drew Brees, and he was going to then take some photos with them, and it was mainly just to insert out to Drew Brees, now athlete turned announcer. You've got the young, the old, and the retired, and you've got Justin Herbert. You got and all these guys that are. You've got the future of the NFL. You've got the NFL, a future Hall of Famer in the NFL, and you've got a future Hall of Famer in golf, and it's super good. It's super, super, super great to have all these guys there, because they're the best. Justin Herbert is the future of the LA Chargers, and it's kind of hard to still say that the LA Chargers. I always default to San Diego. I don't know why, but regardless, this was bad. It was not good, and they're doing testing. They're going to undergo an investigation to see if he was under anything like painkiller medication or anything. And I don't think he was. I just think that, it was down a curvy hill in the suburbs, and I think that probably took a corner a little bit too fast. Didn't have his foot on the brakes as well, as, But what I mean is he was going down the hill, and then he put his foot on the brakes, but he put it on a little bit too lightly, so the brakes didn't go immediately into it, and he turned, and he ended up flying. Tiger Woods went to Stanford. I like Stanford. I'm a USC fan, though, so not the biggest fan of Stanford. but I've had family go to Stanford, so I'm still a fan. And Tiger, I don't think this is the end of Tiger. Tiger has shown that he can come back from stuff, and he's gonna come back from this. I know it. He's a good dude. He deserves a lot more than he's getting. He's gonna come back, and this will just allow for him to come back stronger than ever, and and just show that he is the GOAT. He is in fact the GOAT, and up there with Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, and it's going to be interesting. And as I said, my prayers go out to Tiger and his family. Please pray for him. God bless you, Tiger, and have a I hope you recover. Moving on to a little bit of I can't say happier news, because this is a factor on a franchise tag, and that is Dak Prescott. So Dak Prescott, a great QB, undoubtedly a great QB in the NFL. He's done absolutely insanely in his last year. He was on course to 6,000 yards before breaking his ankle. Some sad news there, and Dak is up for another franchise tag. Obviously, last year he was paid $31.4 million, while he now could be paid $37 million, and now we're getting up to the point where he's going to have to be extended like Deshaun Watson. They're going to have to give him either a long-term contract or be scared of paying him $45 million next year for a franchise tag. Because he's getting worth all these he's becoming, if he copies what he had last season, which I don't think he will, I think he'll have close to 5,000 yards, not on track for 6,000 yards. But if he does do something, if he wins MVP next year and he doesn't get extended, they're going to end up having to pay a lot of money for him. And I don't think Jerry Jones is going to be open to that. But then again, I don't think Jerry Jones is open to trading him. Because, look at Dallas. They're in a bad position. They're in a hard position to uphold. I believe they're drafting 10th this year. I don't think that they're going to draft a QB. I think that they're not even going to get a chance to draft a QB. So, it's either you trade him to the Eagles to try and get someone, or you just, you never know what's going to happen. And, it's going to be interesting. I think Dak, I don't know if he's actually going to be through free agency. If he does get through free agency, into free agency, Dak, I think Dak's going to go to the Jets. He's similar to Jimmy Garoppolo, if not better. He's really good, and he's gonna be a lot of teams want him. Do I think the Niners are gonna want him? No, I think we're sticking with Jimmy, and I think that's a good choice. But if we look at it, Dak is 27 years old. He's almost 28. He'll be 28 at the start of next year. He's not getting any younger, and I think he genuinely wants to be a Cowboy for the rest of his life, and I think he wants to win for the rest of his career. I think he wants to be a Cowboy. He wants to win. He wants to win a Super Bowl in Dallas. He wants to do all this stuff. He wants to be, he wants to be inducted to the Hall of Fame as a Cowboy. But the sad thing about it is he's probably not going to be a Cowboy for the rest of his career. I think that if I think anything, I think the Jets will want him. I think that the Jets will genuinely trade Sam Darnold for Dak, and I think that they'll probably throw in a draft pick too. Look at this. Okay, hypothetically, Jets trade Sam Darnold and their second round pick for this year for Dak. and then the Jets grab Jamar Chase with the second overall pick, or trade back to win that second pick back and win another pick. And I mean, look at the Jets. I mean, they could trade that second to the Dolphins and grab the Dolphins' second rounder. I mean, it's something that will happen. They can happen. And look at that. They could trade back. They could get their second back. Then they can grab with that first round pick at 3. They can grab Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is the best selection right now for the Jets, unless they do grab Sewell out of Oregon. I mean, we've got an interesting thing with the Jets here, and I think if they get Dak, the Jets are going to be a contender. They will become a contender, I think, if they can build up their defense and build up their offense. And look at this. They could rebuild around Dak and Jamar, and I mean, look at that. They've already started to rebuild, and look at what Saleh can do with Dak. Saleh will definitely guide Dak, and Dak could end up becoming a franchise quarterback paid. He can end up getting a contract with the Jets for 8 years, $300 million. I mean, you never know. But then again, you've got obviously the salary cap. It's not like baseball where you can pay a guy $340 million and get away with it, or pay 2 guys $740 million and just, and look at your wallet and still have it filled. But you never know. Baseball doesn't have a salary cap that's allowed the Padres, the Mets. They're really stacking up. And I like the fact that baseball has no salary cap, because it allows the owners to go out and say, okay, I'm going to do this. But at the same time, it's bad in the sense that it allows the bigger people, the bigger markets to profit off of it, and the smaller markets to end up, being stuck. Look at the Giants and the A's right now. The Giants, last time they won was 2014. Last time the A's came close was, I believe, 2014. They went into the ALCS. It was that they had a good team, but then again, it's coming down to the point where the A's have to tell these players that are worth, so much money, like Marcus Semien, for example, we're going to pay you hypothetically $4 million when you're actually worth $10 million, and they want to pay him $10 million, just they can't, because they don't have the market for it. So do the Giants and stuff, but I'm kind of getting off topic here. Going back to Dak, do I think Dak would win a Super Bowl if he went to the Jets? I think it'll take 4 years. Do I think he'll actually win one? Do I think he'll come close? Yeah. Do I think he'll win one? Maybe. Because, I mean, the Jets, you're going to have a hard team if you go anywhere. I mean, look, if he heads to the Jets, he's going to have the Dolphins and the Dolphins and the Bills knocking on his door. And the reason I said Cowboys is because I have banners up, and they're in order. It's just kind of weird. But if he goes to Denver to go play, he would have Derek Carr and Kansas City, and he's going to have Justin Herbert. He's going to have a stacked division there. What I was thinking is Dak heads to there's a trade that I was thinking up last night, and I think that's Dak to the Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders, for Derek Carr and a draft pick. I think Derek Carr and a 4th rounder, that would be an awesome trade for the Raiders to make. Do I think Dallas would allow them? Yeah. And, I mean, also, if Houston traded for Derek Carr, he always wanted to be a Texan. If you watch the E60, the Carr brothers, you'll know that the Texans, when his brother David was on the Texans, he worshipped the Texans, and he always wanted to say he wanted to play for the Texans. And you'll know that the Texans made a promise to him that they didn't keep when they drafted, I believe, Jadeveon Clowney, number 1, instead of drafting not number one, but in the first round instead of drafting Derek Carr. But you're going to a team. You go to a team, you're gonna have a hard time. Another trade that could happen is Dak to the Saints for none other than Jameis Winston. If Dak is sent to the Saints, he could definitely reunite the team. He could keep what they have, and in the next 5 years, once Brady plays past 45 and decides to retire, they've got a good team. The Saints have a good team. It's always going to be the Buccaneers and the Saints. That's the thing, is just looking at it, you go to the NFC West, you're going to be tempted by each team. I mean, the NFC West could become the first team in the NFC to have all teams make it to the playoffs, but that's probably never going to happen. You go to the NFC North, you're going to have the Packers bombarding you. You go to the NFC South, you're going to have the Bucs or the Saints, depending on where you go. If you go to the NFC East, you're going to have, it's kind of hard because Dak is on the Cowboys. You're going to have Washington, I'd say, for the next 2 years bombarding you because, unless the NFC East can really do something next year, they're going to be the NFC least a lot. Go to the AFC East, as I said, you've got the Dolphins and the Bills knocking on your door. Go to the AFC South, you have the Titans, the Colts, the Titans and the Colts. I forget that a lot of times that the Texans are pretty bad. Titans and the Colts, badly. You've got them, knocking on your door, and then you've got the AFC North. Soon, the AFC North could become the second hardest division to succeed. You've got the Browns, you've got the Steelers that should be contenders next year, but I don't know. You've got the Bengals who are really, really coming back here. You've got the Ravens that are, bouncing around. They're going to probably come back next year as contenders and probably blow us away. Then finally, if you go to the AFC West, you're tempted by Derek Carr, Justin Herbert, and then you've got really the big guys, and that's Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes. And you'll see, as I said, the salary cap is not going to be good to some of these teams. It's already not been good for the Niners. It's not being good for the Bills right now. But at the same time, now you've got the Chiefs, who eventually will have the salary cap problems. I heard that in the next 3 years, the Chiefs are going to start having salary cap problems. 3 years, they're going to have salary cap problems. But I've rambled too much about this. God, that's a lot. 12 minutes. Andre Drummond still hasn't been traded. My predictions for the AO were bad. The FCF. The FCF, ladies and gentlemen. We do our weekly look at the FCF. I did not watch any of the games. I had no time. I didn't have time to watch them on Twitch. I was watching them. I was watching a movie with my family during the time that the game went. The Glacier Boys, ladies and gentlemen, they played the Zappers. They beat the Zappers basically on something of a great play. They won 30-28. So it came down to 28-28. And it came down to a 2-point conversion, and it was Andrew Jamel who was the receiver. They threw on an out route to Jamel, and he got it, and he caught it, and that's what won the game for the Glacier Boys, and picking up their first win for Richard Sherman, Quavo, and destroying, grabbing the win there. Going to the Beasts, they are the best team in the league. The Beasts beat out the Wild Aces 30-28 on a nice play there. They've got a great team, and the Beasts. They've got Quentin Flowers, who looks like he could be a future. He could be the MVP. He's really good, and we don't know, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know what's gonna happen. Here, Johnny Manziel also showing off in the FCF. The Zappers, the worst team in the league, standing at 0-2. They have Ronnie Singh, Bob Menery, and Trevor May. And I mean, it's going to be interesting. The Zappers are facing the Wild Aces, having a chance to knock the Wild Aces out of being the best team in the league. They could. The Zappers do have Johnny Manziel. Manziel is 28 years old. He's rushing, he's got 108 yards. Passing, he's only got 97. He is kind of out for it. Zappers, they have missed. They are the 4 seed if they lose to the Wild Aces. If they lose, they'll be 0-3. They'll be the 4 seed. I believe all the teams go to the playoffs this year, but it'll be kind of like the college football playoff. For the Wild Aces, they can make the playoffs going 2-1. If they beat the Zappers, they can make the number 2 seed. If they beat the Zappers. If the Beasts don't win, there is a chance that if the Beasts don't win, I think the Beasts have secured the number 1 spot, I think they have, but the Wild Aces, they're a good team. I look forward to seeing them in the future, and I mean, they've got some great teams. They've got a great team, and I mean, look at it. I mean, they've got DeAndre Francois, who I always thought was going to be good, and Jackson Edelman at QB. Where is this guy from? He's 24 years old. He's from St. John's. I didn't know St. John's had a football team. Who knows? Who knew? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been our subjects today. I hope you guys have a great day. I'm Hugo Traverso. Adios.